So today we're going to design a couple of eyeshadow palettes. For those of you who know, I play a lot of video games, and one of the games that I love to play is World of Warcraft. Now, I play the classic version, and currently it's Season of Discovery for World of Warcraft, and it's about to be phase 2. Like, it starts in a couple hours. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a palette for my warrior and then for my druid. These don't really have anything to do with the warrior or the druid. They're just the eyeshadows that happen to be in these palettes. So I'm gonna rearrange them. Now, I do have a couple palettes over here that you probably can't see, and then I also have a bunch behind me. So I'm gonna kind of talk through my process, things like that. But yeah, there might be a lot of kind of lulls between the shade selections. So let's just hippity hop into it. And let's see, looking at what I have, because like I'm pretty lazy, so what I want to do ideally is move things around as little as possible. So I'm kind of debating, like, do I want to keep this as my warrior palette because it's got like a dark red and an orange and like a copper, or do I want this to be my warrior palette? Let's see. Well, so first things first, I'm actually getting out like even more of my palettes. So I've got like these magnetic palettes that are from like various places. This one I actually got on Amazon, and I bought it specifically because it was magnetic. It had yeah, it doesn't have a mirror. This is where like a lot of my smaller ColourPop shadows ended up, and then these are like big highlighters from Davina and just like some other random shadows. I should get rid of some. And then in these ones are my copacetic cosmetics. If you've seen that video, it's one of my very first ones I uploaded. It's got some really good shades in it. So I'll grab those out. Let's see. Whew. I pulled out all of my Natasha Denona big palettes. I have a few. I pulled out all these because they're like nice and big, and then I did also pull out, I have the Temptalia Sydney Grace collab. These are also magnetic, which is pretty dope. I think this is definitely plenty to start with. I am going to grab my empty palette, or at least mostly empty. It's got a few Natasha Denona shades in it. I believe this is from the Coral palette. It doesn't seem very coral to me, but I really only wanted it so I could take the shades out of it. So, okay, so let's start. Let's start by taking some things out. I don't think I'm gonna need this really bright pink as much as I love it. If you can get your hands on it, actually I might keep this one for the Druid palette. It's similar to the shade for like Fairy Fire. If you know, you know. I have a friend who absolutely hates that phrase because they're like, if I knew, I'd know. Like, that doesn't help anybody to say, if you know, you know. And I'm like, what a hill to die on. Let's see. Oh, and I think I'll keep this shade. This is Retrograde. Let's see. Can I show it off pretty well? This is Retrograde by Lethal Cosmetics. It's not the shiftiest multi-chrome, but I think it really is evocative of Druids. So we'll keep that there. Yeah, I think a lot of the pastel colors kind of have to go, as much as I love them. Well, that's what I didn't grab. I didn't grab my Cleona shadows, because some of those could work. So what I have is, I actually have another empty palette. Look at it, it's all clean and everything. Ooh, who am I? So this palette's nice because it can fit a lot of shades in it that I'm going to take out. I might leave this dusty gray for my Warrior palette, but I am going to take out this like icy, let's see, this icy white shade. I don't think it's quite suitable for either one. Same thing, this is like my very first little multi-chrome. This is from Lethal. This is their shade Genesis. I do love it. I just don't think it's quite the vibe. And then, yeah, I don't think I need this salmon kind of pink color. These ones that don't have a label on the back, they're from their After Dark palette. I don't know if they even still make that one, but I highly recommend it. Oh yeah, this is the shade Aether. It's a really beautiful teal. So we'll keep that. And then let's see. Oh, this one's gotta go. This is Parsec. This is another beautiful multi-chrome from Lethal. And then let me do some organizing. Yeah, we might keep this like charcoal kind of gray. I think that could be good in the Warrior palette. My Warrior is meant to do tanky things. Alright, so I grabbed my two Cleona palettes. I have a custom palette and then I have their Deep Sea Treasures. And I think in the Deep Sea Treasures, I think we might go with either Shipwreck or Ring of Fire for Warrior. I think, let's see, is that mirror blinding you? Okay, good. Let's do the shade, my gut's Shipwreck. It's like this really beautiful black based, like shifty shade. So we're gonna put that there, and don't worry, I'll show you what the palettes look like when they're all done. And then I think for this one, for the Druid, I might take Kelp Forest or even Saltwater Pearl. I think that's really pretty. Yeah, I think I have to take Saltwater Pearl. It's just so pretty. And like, I didn't, this might sound bad because I like own this palette, this Deep Sea Treasures. When I watched the reviews online on like YouTube and wherever about this palette, I didn't think much of this shade because it just came through as like a really shiny like silver, and it was kind of a like, okay, what's so special about that? in person, it's like a really icy, minty, like if you think about sea foam, like at the beach, like when you're, you know, by the ocean, if you think about what that looks like when, like, it would be frozen, that's what it looks like. So I think for another Druid color, we might go up here. I can't remember the name of it until I dig it out. Or we might go down here. I believe this one's called Duke. Decisions are hard. I think since we just did a lighter one for the Druid. Oh yeah, this is Yellow. I'll show you. Oh, it's upside down, of course. There we go. Yeah, Yellow. I do love this shade. It's very pretty. So we'll put that there. Yeah, none of these are like arranged in like a final arrangement. I'm just kind of going through what I have and doing like a rough draft of sorts. Let's see. Looking at the Circo Loco from Natasha Denona. This is that palette. Can I get it all in frame? I have you zoomed in so you can't see like my whole bathroom counter where I do all this, but it's where I do my makeup. I don't think any of these are really doing it for me for either one, so we'll put that aside. I'm putting it in a pile of ones that can like go back. So then we have Safari. This one is an all matte palette. I really love this one. I think a lot of people didn't because it's all matte. Let's see. I think this one's gonna be a maybe. Cause like Desert Day or Thorn could be good for the Warrior palette. Lotus could be good for the Druid. But I think I'm gonna say maybe. And actually, instead of doing Tropic, because that one's a lot of like neutral shades. Mine is also very squeaky. I think I'm gonna pass on this one. Again, so squeaky. Then I have Trichrome. This one I'm definitely going to take some of these like swampy green tones to give to my Druid, because my Druid does more of the like spell casting. So I think I might take you know what? I think I'm gonna wait, because I might take the shade Naga, because it's like this kind of light purple. I know we talked about dusty greens, and now I'm like, but what about a purple? Because I do more of the spell casting. So again, I'm gonna set this one aside. Let's see. I don't think I need anything from the Lila palette. This one's very beautiful though. I love this palette. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's just not the vibe. And then, ooh, do I want to take Cosmo from the Star palette for the Warrior? I think I might. And then I think I might take this Galaxia shade for my Druid, because I think that'll be really pretty. Galaxia for my Druid. Yeah, that's gonna be beautiful. And then Cosmo for my Warrior. Let's see. So these ones I did take something from. What I have is I have like a little pile here of the of the shades that I did use, so that way I know, like, for later, like, hey, these are missing shades. So that way when it comes time to put them back, I can put them back. Sorry if you hear my tummy grumbling. I actually just had lunch, so I'm not sure what's going on. This is the, before I forget, this is the Radiant Reflection, and I have this one in Deep. Which, yeah, I know, like, I'm really pale, but I chose to have this one in Deep. And I might take this Our Starry Night, because I think it could be really pretty for the Druid. We're gonna give that one a maybe. Maybe. Then I need some more matte shades for my Druid palette is what I need. I need more mattes for both of them. This is the Quintessence palette, again in Deep. I just really like the richness of the deep shades. I have a lot of like lighter pastel kind of shades. The shade that I took from this one is Borealis. I think it's just like a really pretty green. So we're gonna take that one for my Druid. Let's see. I might have to take this one too. This is the, I believe you say it the Mielke way. It's this one, in case you were curious. The Mielke way. I think that's a really pretty Druid shade. It's kind of similar to the one that we took from Natasha Denona, but not quite. The Natasha Denona one leans a little more neutral, and this one leans a little more silver. So, and again, I'm not, it's not like final how they'll be arranged, but, ooh, this one's really pretty. This is the, hold please, this is actually the On the Horizon Light. Yeah, I really love this palette. I think it's gorgeous. So I think what I'll do is, I think I'm gonna take, let's see. I think I'm gonna take this Magellan's Light. This one. Nope, this one. I've swatched it on my hand here. It's the one in the middle. I think that'd be really cool for my warrior. And then next to that one is a matte green called Desert Spoon that I'm gonna take for my Druid. Yeah. Ta-da! Desert Spoon. My doggo is very concerned that she can't be in the room with me right now. She's sweet, but now is not the time. Let's see. Do I want to take anything else? Ooh. This Sakura Glow is really pretty. No, we've already taken a lot from this palette. We've taken 2. It's not too many. Get it? Too many. I don't think I want any from this big palette. So I'll set it aside. These ones, let's see. We've got, this is mostly my like purples and blues. You can see like some pinks in here, but this is mostly my purples and blues. I don't think I'm gonna take either for my Druid or my warrior. Yeah, probably not. I don't think they quite fit the vibe. So set that aside. This palette though, let's go. This is my greens and yellows. I'm definitely going to take this shade. Actually, wait. It's not in here. I lied. But I might take this shade. It's a really pretty, like, vibrant red orange. It's called Burns. I don't know. If you know how to say it phonetically, tell me in the comments. Because I don't. Clearly. From this too, I think I might take... I want to take one of these greens for my Druid. I think I might take either this one or this one. And actually, I haven't had a chance to use this one as much as I'd like, so I'm going to take it. It's called Act Your Wage, which I think is a great name. So we'll take that. Then I kind of also want to take this gold one called Bog Water, because, like, come on now. It's called Bog Water. What's more Druid than Bog Water? So the Druid palette's almost done, and the more I look at it, the more I'm not loving that purple. So I think I'm going to take it out. Let's see. And I think I've got space in this little palette. So let's put that in there. The Druid palette really did come out more like green than I thought it would. Which, I mean, it is a Druid palette. Like, it's not too shocking to have it be like really green heavy. These are more copacetic cosmetic shadows. These just happen to be in here from, I want to say something I did a while ago. This was the shade I was thinking of. I don't even think they make this one anymore, but I kind of have to have it for my Druid palette. I wonder if I can get this shift on camera. It's like this beautiful blue, teal, green with like a shift of red at like a really extreme point. It's just gorgeous. It's called Valorous, by the way. And I do love it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, my Druid palette has one matte in it. Now, I'm not someone who says like, oh, I have to have a matte in the crease or anything like that. But I am someone who does enjoy like a matte from now and again. So I think the one I'm going to take is from Teresa. Teresa is Lethal. Shout out to Teresa is Dead. She's amazing. Go watch her channel. I'm going to take the shade called Area 52. It's just this beautiful, like, cool toned matte brown. And with that, my Druid palette, it's got 12 shades. Let's say that. Is it done? Who's to say? But it's got 12 shades, which is, you know, the minimum. So my Warrior palette. I thought that this would be a lot easier. Yeah, I really thought that my Warrior palette would come together a lot faster. But it's kind of not, because actually, like, spoiler, I actually play my Warrior more than my Druid these days, because I'm working to, like, level it up. Ooh, okay, what do we think? I'm kind of into it. Let's take it. This is that multi-chrome I was pointing at initially, by the way. And it is called Howling Winds. I mean, I feel like that's kind of got a warrior name too. Ooh, I think what I'm going to do is make like a really dark row for my warrior palette. I think that sounds really fun. So what other dark shades do we want? Let's see. You know what? If I keep making those noises, it's gonna call my cat. kitty who, she's very, very sweet, but she's very, very shy. But if you make those noises, she will come when you call her. It's very cute. Do we like this? I kind of like it. I'm kind of gonna go for it. This is called a Sumptuous Serendipity, and it is in the Radiant Reflection Deep. So part of the reason that I record these, or at least why I've started recording these, is so that I can know where everything goes when it's time to put it back. I probably shouldn't admit that, but like, here we are. I am just not like I don't have a great memory. I don't love this orange shade. The more I see it, the more I'm like, it's not quite doing it for me, but we'll keep it for now. But I will say that's probably going to be the first one to go if I have to make the hard choice. Yeah, I don't think that I need any from the Lethal is Dead, even though I do love that palette. Shout out again to Teresa is Dead. I really want to find a shade that reminds me of an ability I have called Thunderclap. And what you do with Thunderclap is when you're tanking, oh, I think I might need this one. This is Hive Mind from Teresa's Lethal. I think that's a really pretty bright red too. So with Thunderclap, that's what you use to like maintain aggro, which to anyone who does not play this kind of game is probably not gonna make a ton of sense. But again, if you know, you know. Aggro is something you want to have as a tank, because if you don't have it, that means the people who aren't supposed to be getting hit are getting hit. And as a tank, you want to make sure that people who are supposed to get hit. I kind of like this, what's it called? Space Trash. I might take this as like my Thunderclap kind of shade. We'll see. We'll see. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Let's see. Again, I'm gonna call my cat if I keep doing that. Oh, okay. I might need this one. I believe this is Sour Girl from Copacetic Cosmetics. Although, let's look at one of my other favorites from Cleona. And this is, yeah. Let's see how Oxidize compares to Sour Girl. Ooh, okay. So there's Oxidize and Sour Girl, and I think we might need Oxidize. Okay, and I've got an idea. So I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to include this like steely gray. Yeah, like that steely gray. And then, like I said, we're gonna get rid of this orange because I'm not feeling it. And we're gonna move this here. And we're gonna put this, no, I lied. I can lie. It's mine. It's mine. And then I think what I want to do is add this shade. This is a, it's another another multi-chrome from Lethal, and this is called Antimatter. And it's this beautiful, like, white. I've used a ton of it. It's this beautiful, like, yellow white color. So I'm going to put that there. And then I think what I'm going to do is swap out this copper shade for like a brown. Not necessarily like a mid-tone brown, but you know, just something kind of warmer, maybe a little more neutral. Because like what I like to do with these palettes that I make, I'm gonna put these away before I forget. What I like to do with these palettes is I like to make like at least 2 looks. Can you see that? At least 2 looks. One that's like editorial, kind of, you know, fanciful, whimsical, whatever you want to say. And then I like to make one that's like how to wear it to work. Because like even I don't go to an office anymore. I know a lot of people do. So I think that it's kind of nice to have something to where it's like, oh, can I wear this to work? And it's like, you can't always. I might take this shade from the Star palette called Flesh. I like that one. I think I might take it. We'll see how it looks. That is funny that 2 shades from the Star palette ended up in my Warrior palette, kind of right next to each other. But again, this layout is not final. I think this and this, and then, oh, I've got an idea. Bear with me. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is have that there, have this guy here, and then no, we're gonna put it up here. Actually, I keep changing my mind. I think I want, okay, yeah, I think I want this here. Stay. My hands are clean, by the way. I'm not just like rubbing up all my makeup. Though I could, it's mine. No one else uses it but me. And then yeah, I think instead of that, ooh, let's do we want this matte gray? Do we like her? Does she go here? I don't know that she goes here. But I do like the look of this. I think I might swap this out for a dark brown. Let's put that one away before I forget. Y'all, the working memory issues are real today. Shout out to my homies who have working memory issues. What up? I see you. We can be friends. Ooh. 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 What about her? She's like a chocolatey brown. I mean, people get mad when you say like, what about her? Or like calling makeup a her. But the name of this shade is literally Gemma, which is typically a feminine name. Okay. So I think I like this for my Warrior palette. Let's take a closer look. I think I like this quite a bit, actually. It's kind of brown, but it brings in like the silver from like my sword. It's got a lot of red because the like ability that you have, or the, not ability, instead of mana, or like action points or whatever you want to call them from whatever games you play, if you play any. You don't have to. They have rage instead of like mana or anything like that. So now let's take a look at the Druid palette a little closer. And I actually, part of me kind of feels like I got it in one. I think I'm gonna move, oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna move this one. And then kind of have like a neutral row. And then kind of like, the more I look at it, the more I feel like saltwater pearl doesn't really fit. How about this? Let's swap it. And we'll either swap it for Duke or we could swap it for Fool's Gold, which I actually think is a really pretty like goldy color, and then it would kind of fit with the with this row, sorry, with this column. One thing that I didn't realize bothered me with like makeup content was that like I didn't realize how bothered I got when someone called like a column a row, because this is a column and this is a row. And the reason why I feel so strongly about this is because I am forced to use Microsoft Excel at my job, my 9-to-5 job. And I gotta say, I hate it. I'm sorry if you're the person who created Microsoft Excel, but I gotta say, not my favorite. But yeah, I think this is a really beautiful Druid palette. I think this came out great. We only had one thing to swap out, and I think it's gorgeous. Yeah, so I think we're done. Oh my gosh, that only took like what? Almost 40 minutes? Only almost 40 minutes. And now I have, here, I'll show you how the sausage is made. I have so many things to pick up, to put away. You can see my dry shampoo, but I have so much to like clean up and put away now. And then on top of that, take pictures of this. So with that all said, I'll kind of slow zoom over the palettes, and we'll kind of just wind down here. But this is how I make my custom palettes. I have a lot of shades to work with. I love magnetic palettes. This is a lot of fun for me. It definitely tickles my brain in a fun way. Alright, this has been almost 40 minutes of me doing this. So have a good night or relax wherever you're at, and I'll see you in the game, I guess. Bye!